defining and cascading a meaningful purpose, understanding voice of customer and setting metrics, and setting aspirations and targets. These are things that I think the management will have to do and also share back with us, but this will guide you because you are the ones managing the school. So we're just giving you some guidelines and then you feed us with that information. The objective of that students and customer focus is connect. What does that look like? Our goals to our strategy and our mind to our purpose. That is exactly what that first pillar does, or that's the objective we want to do. And then obviously the priority rating is 1, because that's number 1. So responsible, we say it was council and team, council chair and team. That's the onboarding we've done, it's 100%. So we have this will vary, so we'll just keep continuing. So that will vary, but it's all aligned with what success looks like is exactly that at the end. We'll share this later. I can't read everything, but I want to just go through the pillars. Second pillar, 1B, is culture enablement, empowering our people, enabling and commitment to exceptional performance by embedding rhythms and routines to ensure the sustainability of new ways for working. So we are setting our new ways that the council will operate according to the in line and according to Mombasa, obviously, but we are also redefining a few things because we see results happening. What does that do? You can see that. Creating an engaging and respectful university workplace, leading effectively through standardized routines, developing our people through capability building and coaching, confirming and developing processes and roles. It's everything we literally talked about the entire week. And we didn't even know that's what you had, but you see it's aligned. And then visualizing and managing performance. So what does that objective look like for that? It's enable people across Mmust to contribute to their full potential. The only way someone will give your full potential is if there's an enabling environment and a culture that allows you to actually perform for us to succeed for the students. So it's everybody, it's the students, it's the stakeholders, it's literally everyone from the gatekeeper to the driver. Everyone that is inside that compound working for Mmust has to be enabled. And so the rest, I will leave that so you read that later, but we'll share. But you can see the priorities. Go to the end. It's medium. When we are starting, it's a bit medium because it's an ongoing. So we'll do it in parallel with a lot of things because, as you know, changing culture takes time. You can't just shock the system. Everybody will just freeze out. So we want to take time and weave in. Let's say we give ourselves a year to really change the entire way of operations. The second pillar is processes and systems. Pursue operating perfection. Our ambition is 100% safety for our people, 100% value for our stakeholders and customers, 0% waste. Our efforts for improvement never stop. So, current state mapping of all key processes and systems in Mmust, which is what I think every speaker has echoed. Prioritization and selection of core processes for redesigning and mapping out of optimal revenue sources. Standardizing processes and ensuring quality. Maintaining a safe, clean, and organized university workspace. Therefore, master plan. Balancing capacity and demand. That objective is to deliver. What are we delivering? What adds value to all Mmust stakeholders safely, effectively, and efficiently? So that's exactly what the objective is for that pillar. So just forgive me, I'll just read through. The next one, the next pillar is innovation and technology, which is exactly what we've said. Mmust is a science and technology university. We need to innovate, we need to think outside, deepen our improvement capabilities and ways for thinking to identify and systematically eliminate waste. So if there are dead assets, these are things that obviously will have to be eliminated, new technologies embedded, etc. And what does that look like? Current state, no. Yes, all right. Current state mapping of all innovative and technology solutions and opportunities, identifying and prioritizing improvement opportunities, developing technology and innovation improvement projects execution plan, optimized and reliable digital platform for Mmust, value waste identification and elimination to, we call it good mates. So that's exactly what we plan to do, so we can close a lot of loopholes of maybe generational, revenue loss that we are perhaps not seeing, but it requires us just to work. So the next one is revenue generation and sustainability. Implement revenue sources to enable self-sustainability. That's self-explanatory based on the fact that we've talked about it since Tuesday, and I think today when we talked about endowment funds and donor funds, I think that's where we are. So we are happy, we are aligned. So current state mapping of all key revenue generation streams within Mmust, redesign each selected processes and optimal revenue sources, costed implementation plan of the redesigned processes and optimal revenue sources, and that's exactly what we want to do. What does that pillar look like in the objective? What's our objective? Our objective is to sustain a clear outline of most university revenue streams. That's sustainability, that's just the objective there. The next pillar is accelerating social value. CSR, partner with community to operationalize, prioritize social value plan, in line also with, I think Bartholomew had said it, women in STEM, we're talking about CSR, we're talking about the community around. What does that look like? So we need to have most engaged community and map out social value projects, initiatives, define most social value. We define social value as the positive contribution we make to the environment and society, our most university workforce, partners, customers, economies, and communities. That's what it means when we are defining what that social value looks like. The objective there is to improve, deliver community social plan aligned with government mandate and priorities. So basically what we're saying, what we want to embed, so this is a one-pager, by the way, we'll share, and the VC will share with the management, embed our core values. What are the core values that we're trying to say? Customer focus, collegiality, excellence, professionalism, equity, accountability, and innovativeness. So basically we'll share this. It's just that I couldn't read every of them, it's a lot, but it's the same things we are saying over and over, and what you have said in terms of what you want us to do for you and how we can help. But you have to read this and now plug in all the plans we have and see whether it fits into our 90-day plan. There are dates here, and we will need to track this in 3 months' time, in 90 days, when we have another gathering. I think it's important for us to at least meet, whether it's twice a year, it will be very important. What we are saying is really, if we have said today that we are going to do a student center, and we've said the student center must be done in 4 months, we want to come there and celebrate with you the opening of that it's done. I think accountability is very key moving forward, because it will help people actually function and do what they're supposed to do. So this is, yes, so this would really help, because we can't just talk, we must walk the talk, right? I think that's it for that. If there's any question regarding that, let me know, but we'll share it with VC, and VC will share with you. But this is what we are thinking, and we can take any edits if you wish. If you don't understand, just email the VC and he will send us to the council and we'll be able to respond. Let's have an engagement between ourselves, because that's the only way we can help, and that's the only way we can add value. And lastly, last but not least, I want to tell you that these council members you see here could be somewhere else getting so much monies. But this for us is a giving back to the society. on a higher level. Because sometimes a lot of us are given a calling. We do our business, we have businesses, we are very busy, but what we are doing is just really trying to bring Mmust up, or rather improve what you already have, and really make this university the top. Because in 3 years, we don't want to be told we never did anything. That's why you're seeing us very committed. So I just pray that you don't take that for granted, particularly people that are here very, very serious in their careers. They have made their names in their career. Together with myself, I don't need to be at Mmust, but it's because I think it's good for the country. And I think it's good for my Kenyan citizens and the future generations. That is really, truly the part that I think we are giving. I want to tell you a story, just a quick one before I end. And it was a documentary I watched about the last king, the last Shah of Iran. This last Shah of Iran was ruling in Iran in the 77, 76, 77, 78, 79. And what he did, which is super crazy, is the fact that he had given so much. He had built different nations. I mean London, I mean US, France. He had given money to these countries, superpowers by the way, because of the oil. And then some of these countries hadn't paid him back. So then he would deliver oil, let's say, to US, and then they're supposed to credit his account, they didn't. Anyway, but he had so much money, and he had a wife, Farah was queen. And what he did was, one day, the US begins to support, I mean, there's an uprising. Obviously, internally, there's the man of that time in Iran. So that began to uprise, and then this guy is somehow kicked out of Iran, and the US facilitates Ayatollah now. Armeni was in France, he was in exile. He comes back to Iran, and this one is exiled, and Sadat, Egypt then, takes him in. And then the guy, obviously, he's staying at the Grand Hotel by the Nile, and he says, the doctor comes, he starts to look weak and sick. Many months later, the doctor comes, they discover he has leukemia, but they didn't tell him. So the guy says, my wife is in America, my children are in America, Texas and California, I'd like to go to the US. So the US says, no problem, come. So he goes to the US, seeking obviously to stay in the US because he was running away from the Ayatollah who wanted to kill him. Yes, Armeni Ayatollah, yes, Armeni. So he goes to New York. The Iranians in New York gets very upset at the Jimmy Carter, the Democrat. I don't like Democrats. So Jimmy Carter gets to understand that Americans are kidnapped by the Iranians who are coming to the hotel in New York. And the reason why was because they thought that America was supportive of him now, the last Shah. So the US says, you have kidnapped 20 people, you need to get out of US. We don't want you here. So the guy says, but I'm here for a doctor, you know, I like the American doctor. The doctor observed him, he had leukemia, they wanted to start treatment, but time was going, he had to get out. So the next country he went to was Mexico. Gets to Mexico, the president of Mexico hosts him, and the president says to him, now we have a doctor that can treat you. The guy says, no, I want the American doctor. So this guy says, I want the American doctor to treat me, and the president of Mexico says, why do you want an American doctor? These people want to kill you. We have the best doctors. So he refuses. The president of Mexico says, listen, if you have refused for us to treat you, then there's no need for you, then you should not feel safe staying in our country. You must get out of Mexico. So they try to look for a country that will take him in. They found Panama. This guy goes to Panama. Again, he's deteriorating, getting very sick. It's obviously cancer of the blood, but then it was in the 79, so obviously they didn't really have all the technology that we have today. And so the Panama guy said, we have the best doctor from France, we'll fly him. The guy says, no, I still need an American doctor. Panama says, what is it about the fact that you think American doctor will treat you? You keep saying American doctor, but the Americans don't want you. Now they want us to extradite you back to the US to face the law. for something else that had come up. So then Sadat says, oh no, bring back this friend of mine back to Egypt.
Yeah.
So on his way back to Egypt, they discovered that now the Armenian guy from Iran was organizing to abduct him. So he lands in Portugal, some island in Portugal, and they almost kidnap him really back to Iran. The guy then manages to escape and gets back to Egypt, and the guy eventually just dies without being cheated. Why does that story is so sad? Knowing that he died with all the billions of dollars he had made for all the big Western nations, one. Two, he believed those nations could be what could treat him, and he refused everyone else. My point of the story is that I don't want us most to be like the last king of Shah. When you have people that have come to assist and to work with you, open up your hearts, allow to be helped, and allow us to rise up and go forward successfully. I think if we are successful, the customers and the students will be, the lecturers will be, the management will be, and the entire stakeholders of Mmust will be. So we're really committed. Thank you very much, VC, under your leadership. Thank you so much for opening yourself, for really bringing us on board, onboarding us with respect and with all the information you've shared with us. We really don't take that for granted. I thank you for that leadership. Let's clap for a VC, by the way. And for the DVCs, thank you so much. This has been helpful. The rest of the team, thank you. Dr. Immaculate, thank you so much. You've been such a wonderful secretary. You've really onboarded us well, and we're really grateful. Dr. Patricia, thank you as well. Thank you for all the support. Thank you so much. And before we go, I think when we were planning this timetable, the reason why I said we needed to do a team building is we want to know how we can trust each other. If I fall today and I drown, I don't know how to swim. I want to see who's going to save me. So let's really have fun as we move forward. Thank you very much.
You're safe, I know.